for a moment, and I'm going to make sure that we're streaming okay, and then we'll get started. But I'm super excited for today's episode with Hackatao and Eleonora to kind of lead the way, and I will introduce her in a moment. I'm just going to make sure that everything is streaming okay. Perfect. Sweet. Okay, and I see Super Rare sounds great. Jimmy says hi. Awesome. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And thank you for letting me know that you can hear because you guys always know I'm worried about that at the start. Um, Perfect. And I'll just let everyone trickle in for another moment or two before we get started. And you can obviously see that Hackatao already has two nice drinks waiting for them for this stream in the bottom, which is awesome. What'd you say?
Yeah, for this day, it's going to be a big day for Hackatao today.
Yes, absolutely. Awesome. Hey, Anonymous Nobody. Nice to see you. Hackatao has taken liquid form. Yes, Hackatao has. Frank Conway, hey, nice to see you in here. Okay, awesome. Let's get started. It seems like people are getting comfortable on the stream. I'm super excited to have you guys on here. This is going to be just an awesome episode, and I love that we have a third guest on here, which is really special. Uh, Eleonora is a art curator and has known Hackatao for a while and will be chatting with us about their work and also maybe translating some things if we need. And then Hackatao in the bottom video is going to be showing us around kind of the behind the scenes of everything in their studio and also just showing us all this amazing work they've been working on and giving us kind of a little bit of in on the secret of what they do as a duo. And awesome, Verkak. Nice to see you too. So perfect. Let's get started. I'm super excited that we kind of are getting this view while we go. But I'll be asking Eleonora some questions just on the way, and then if you guys have questions, obviously pop them in the chat like normal. And let's just get started. But anyways, if you want to introduce yourself, Eleonora, go ahead.
Okay, great. Yeah, I'm Eleonora. I am an art curator. Just started an adventure with an art gallery. And yes, I lived in China for many years. So this is how I got into the contemporary art world. And then I moved to New York and I came across the fantastic and magic world of art on the blockchain. So this is how I got into the crypto art space in New York. And then
Awesome.
I meet many people, amongst which Hackatao.
Perfect. So you met Hackatao after you started getting into the like crypto art scene.
Yeah, although we are both like we are the three of us are Italian, but I was in New York and I met them through. There was an auction at the Ethereal Summit, and they were participating in New York with their art piece. And then I met them better through the MOCDA, the Museum of Contemporary and Digital Art, where I interviewed them, and then yeah, we started to collaborate together a lot.
That's so amazing. And we have people in the chat saying, love the anonymous. Sorry, I can never say the word that they're being anonymous. And Podmark, yes. Podmark is so cool. So when you met Hackatao and interviewed Hackatao, what drew you to their work? And then we'll start getting in, into Hackatao's work more. But what drew you to it?
For me, it's their work is very complete, uh, like in the sense I call talking about art. And so it's so interesting to see how Hackatao really represent the spirit of this time. I think it's like they creating physical and digital, showing and proving that if you are uh, open mind enough and you treat art as it should be, you can use different kinds of art or whichever you want to call it, but it's like it's a continuum. And so this was very interesting for me. So I got to know them through the crypto art space, but then you discover this magic world of canvases, sculptures that get animated and tokenized on the blockchain.
Yeah. No, absolutely. So, what do you know the name Hackatao, where that came from, and why they decided to go by that?
Yeah, so it's from hack and Tao. So hack, like in the pure spirit of a hacker.
Mm-hmm.
So they seem to go like under the skin and discover what's hidden. And Tao, obviously the yin and yang, which is the spirit of this couple who is a couple in life and in work. So it's Nadia and Sergio. And they really are like yin and yang. Like if even if you look at their art pieces, you have this very strong contrast between this detailed, super detailed drawn part, which Sergio takes care of, and the super pop flat style that Nadia um, is taking care of. So it took a while for them to combine their different styles and arrive to this point where it's like very recognizable, meaning that if you see an art piece, you just recognize that it's an Hackatao.
Right.
It really is the combination of the two of them. Sergio was even saying that like what Nadia does in the pieces is that like she gives him like a cage where he
Mm.
can create inside, because he was saying like if I didn't have this cage, it will be too much for me. You know, it's like it's too much freedom for creation. So the way they operate together is she draws the first like the design of the art piece. So she gives him the borders, and then he draws inside, and then she comes back with the painted part.
That's so cool, and it's funny that they have um, both of these different styles, but that it just works so well together. And Nadia, how she's doing these super detailed, like all black and white um, images, and then she leaves this space for him, and then he creates with all of these colors is so amazing.
The
Um,
opposite.
oh,
He is the
opposite.
black and white. He's the black and white. So all
Oh,
and she is the color. So
oh, okay.
he takes care of all like the writings and little details, eyes,
Got it.
everything you see inside the piece. And she takes care of the colorful part.
Oh, okay. That's awesome. That's so cool. I love that. And the name is perfect. The like you said, the yin and yang, since they complement each other so well. Um, oh, cool. We have them in the chat also. Yes, we'll definitely talk about that. They have a drop on Nifty Gateway today, which is super exciting.
Two drops.
Two
Yes.
drops. I saw it was 23 of one of them, and then is there a special edition of that?
Yeah, and so there is a piece in 23 editions, and there is another unique piece coming out also
Oh,
today.
okay, that's super exciting. And what time is that? Just so everyone in the
So
chat knows.
it's 7 p.m. East, so New
Great.
York time.
Okay, perfect. Um,
If
awesome.
you if you want for me to talk a little bit about the pieces now, or you want to go
Yeah,
back to
go for it.
pieces, uh, okay. So we will there will yes, the two pieces are for the Nifty Gateway. The piece in edition of 23 is called Bear Polish. And so it will be a piece, let's say, about the crypto market, and so it's this like juggler juggling with all the balls are different cryptocurrencies. So it really is like a fun circus of the crypto art world where you can have fun and it really is a game. So we compared a little bit the atmosphere and the spirit of a circus with the crypto art world. And then the unique piece that is coming out, and I curated the tags for both of them. It's called Sibilla, Yes, No, Maybe.
Mm.
And so what happened is that on Super Rare, on May 16, Hackatao, so they're the first gift they ever made, which is called I've Got the Power, was resold for the third time. And so like this piece is inspired by the secondary market, which is such a unique thing happening thanks to the blockchain. I mean, it's not only happening on the blockchain, but we know that in the art world is really like the most speculative things existing there, because the artists, after they sold the piece for in the primary market, they will never ever be remunerated ever again, which
Right.
is where the blockchain comes. And so it is amazing to see how these artists are and will always be remunerated with the 10% of the new sale. And this happened on Super Rare. And so Hackatao like got many messages, which is very common in the crypto community, to send each other messages like, this is the art history making. And so, inspired by this message that they received, they created this uh, Sibilla, to which we ask if this gift will make the art history. And in the background, you have all the major art pieces or the pillars of the art histories. So you have everyone. Like we even put Ai Weiwei dropping the urn. And so it really is like an homage to the art world and to the secondary market. And the Sibilla obviously doesn't answer, because there is no answer. So it's a little bit ironic. Like, she's gonna tell you yes, no, maybe. We don't know if this gift will be part of the pillars of the art world. But yes, this is the piece that will come out today.
I love that piece. So is this the one that is going to be a one of one?
Yeah,
So
this
it'll
is
go
the
on auction.
yeah.
Okay. That's fantastic. That's a beautiful piece. Do you know, do they animate together or does Nadia or Sergio normally do the animations?
I believe they animate together.
Okay. Yeah. That's such a beautiful piece. I'm
So
super excited for
when it
that.
so like if you have the animation of, let's say, like if the animation comes together with a canvas, the canvas needs to be completed, obviously. So both the drawn and the painted part are made on canvas. When it is just for the digital art piece, the drawn part is made on paper, and then the painting part is made directly on the computer. So this
Got
is
it.
how they.
No, that's so amazing. And I love, as Hackatao is walking around, I love that just showing the borders of these pieces and how, the drawings wrap all the way around, and that detail is just so beautiful. And I think that like the detail within their pieces is stunning, and it's nice because you actually get to you're able, like, you're drawn in through these bright colors, and then you start taking this journey around like what's almost like a puzzle around the piece. And then the fact that that also extends to the borders of the canvas just shows how important every detail and like finalizing each piece is for them. And everything is always just so cleanly done and really beautiful. So I'm a huge fan. So I have another question of when do you know how Hackatao got introduced to Super Rare? Because I tweeted out today, I looked at their token IDs. They were the 17th thing ever minted on Super Rare, and then recently Super Rare is almost hitting 10,000 tokens, which is pretty cool. So they've been, doing that for quite some time. So do you know how that relationship started?
Yeah, so I know that Sergio, there is a magazine, it's called Science in Italian. He was just reading the magazine, and he, like, his attention, like, went to this. They were talking about the blockchain. And then it's just started to think about the fact that maybe this could be applied like to art. This makes sense even for the art world. And so he Googled art and blockchain. This is really how he started. He Googled art and blockchain, and he got to the blog of Jason Bailey, Art Gnome.
Okay.
So they just contacted Jason Bailey. I was like, like, this is very cool. We also thought about this, and this was 2018. And then at the time, Super Rare was starting, because Super Rare is 2 years old
Yep.
this year. And so Jason Bailey put them in contact with Super Rare guys, and
Oh,
they started.
history. That is so cool. I love that. And it's such a special experience to be creating on that platform for so long and seeing the platform grow and hack to also grow with them parallel. So that's super exciting, and that they've been doing that for so
So
long.
many things happening on Super Rare. The like this, they were one of the first ones, and so they started with them, and then all these secondary market experiences, and also Super Rare is now like they will launch this editorial corner, which is amazing. That will launch soon, and also they have a curator, and so they will curate an art show about pop art, and Hackatao will also participate in that show. So I can only say something about this new piece that will be presented for the show on Super Rare. It's called Pink Bear, and it's inspired by so it's about pop art, right? So Akatao started to think about like what's the poppest thing that we have right now, and it's video game and video gamers, and so it's inspired by Fortnite, the video game. So you have this pink bear like eating a child, so also inspired by Goya's painting, Saturn devouring his son.
Mm-hmm.
And also Akatao thought about like their daughters playing video games. So it's basically like, okay, your brain is going to be eaten, but at least you will have fun. So this will be on Super Rare soon.
Okay, that piece sounds really intriguing. I'm excited to see that one for sure. As we're walking around, I'm just gonna read some of these comments. People are super excited about the drop, um, and the Agro Cat. What a crafty loft! Great workspace. I totally agree. It's beautiful. A little sneak
Here
peek to
it
the
is.
work. Yeah, that's really cool. Fortnite is the ultimate pop art. Okay, that's awesome. That's all Hackatow's gonna give you. Um, and Mr. NFT said, "What part, if you don't mind sharing, what part of Italy is that in? Would love to visit when I'm there in a month." Do you know if they share that?
Hackatao. Okay,
Yeah.
so Hackatao, yeah, this is also very in Milan in 2007, and this is how and where they started. But then they moved to the mountains. So they are in north of Italy. It's called Carnia. It's really on the mountains, but it's out of any like
Whoa.
touristic place. And
Oh
so
my god.
they like to say that they live in a decentralized way, meaning that like oh, here you can see here.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. Oh my god. What an
Yeah,
inspiration to live right there.
and it really is
Wow.
like Hackatao was proved that they were proved right during this, COVID crisis, because what they really live in nature with technology. Like they have all the technology that you can imagine. Like kids are
Right.
going, around the house with the VR setup, creating VR sculptures, but they live on the mountains, and so and it's very sustainable.
Wow, that is stunning. Like just looking out your door, your window, that is crazy, Hackataw. That's absolutely gorgeous. Um,
And these
they,
companies that you see here around, like the one which is all drawn in the outside, and the other one with pink hair that they were showing, these are two canvases that will be also animated in AR. So when you have your canvas,
mhm.
you also have a tokenized AR. I believe it will be tokenized on Super Rare. And this is, you see, this piece is about Renaissance. So this is for my art show that will hopefully happen in Rome in September, and it's called Renaissance 2020. After this crisis time, it will be hopefully like a Renaissance feeling, and it will be an art show about digital art, and Hackatao will be part of it, and I will present these art pieces at Kadaf Art Fair,
Yep.
which will happen in June. And so I wish you could see the details inside. There is like
It's
the
beautiful.
Venus by Botticelli in Hackatao style, and all this Renaissance things.
It's
Um,
gorgeous. That piece definitely pulls you in. I love it, and yeah, I can't wait to see up close with all the details. Dream green creativity art. I love the words that Hackatao puts within the pieces because it makes you fully think about what they're thinking when they're making the piece itself, and the words are really powerful. It's so
Sometimes
beautiful.
they even interact with the audience and they ask like for suggestions for the words to be put in the art pieces. They did that with a piece like during quarantine.
Hmm.
So there is
Yeah.
interaction.
No, that's great. Every Easy and Crypto loving the tour, looks so amazing. Frank Conway asked, does Hackatao draw influences from the work of Taka Shippo? And sorry if I'm saying the name wrong.
Uh, I um I believe they have many inspirations, but when I've asked them in the interview for the museum, like if there are artists they are inspired by, not really. Like they are inspired by life. That's what they
Hmm.
said. But if there is an artist that maybe Sergio could feel like closer to, he said that it will be Andy Warhol
Oh,
for
very
many
cool.
reasons.
That's awesome. Also, Frank Conway asked, why are the words not in Italian? Do you know if they've made anything with Italian words?
Uh, I'm not sure, but I don't think so. I don't think
Okay.
they have something in Italian.
That would be
We
really
should be
cool.
having older art pieces, but I looked at them and I don't think so. Maybe we can ask Sergio, but they are in English because they want to be international.
Yeah, but that would be quite cool to, even, obviously not all of them, but to have a piece that is in Italian. That would be really beautiful. And Mr. NFT also asked, do all the physical pieces have a counter NFT? So like the little pod marks and stuff. Do they
No,
come?
no,
Okay.
they don't. Not all of them. Like
Okay.
for me and my gallery, I want to because what I am trying to promote is like a bridge between the two worlds. So physical art piece and NFT. But for instance, the pod marks are sculptures that don't come with any NFT.
Okay.
But all the canvases that you see with a digital animation. So basically, like there is an NFT when there is a digital um, animation or like a GIF or anything, no NFT on physical objects.
Okay. Um, Awesome. Oh, that actually, there was a cool idea in the comments. Frank Conway said maybe the AR could translate, if they did something in Italian. I did have a question about the Pawnworks. What was I guess, did this come long after they were creating in 2D forms and then they decided to create in 3D? And where do they get the inspiration to do these, but also make the actual physical objects?
So actually, this is the first thing ever they were together on. So when they met, these little figures already existed from Sergio, and Nadia fell in love with them, and she started to give them, like that they got to this specific shape, and she put colors on them. But this is really the first thing that they ever made together. They started with pod marks,
Okay.
and
Oh, that's so
was
cool. I didn't know that.
having that, and these podmarks were really successful. They said that the first time that they showed the podmarks in an art gallery, it was sold out, and so they started from there. And they said that it was a little bit of like a limit just to work on these small sculptures, and so they went together through a like broader path, and they started with canvases, and then
And do they still sell the physical? I know when I first found them they were, but do they still sell the physical objects? Or is that more of just like in person at different galleries?
they sell the podmarks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool. And how do people just contact them directly if they were interested in purchasing one?
Yeah, they can contact them. Yeah, I don't take care of the podworks because they do not come with digital art, so
Right.
it's a specific choice. But you can contact them.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Hackatao in the chat said, we like the canvas to have an important thickness, so to give it the idea that it's tangible object. Totally. No, I agree.
Yeah,
Um,
they make their own canvases, so they can have them as thick as
Oh,
they
I love the baby
should.
ones. Those are so cute. Jim just said they're designing one for me right now, Josie. The one in front not painted. That's my dog. No way. That is so cool. I love that. Um, Mr. NFT wants to know how they can contact. Probably just through Twitter, I would imagine.
Twitter is good.
Okay. Oh my
Probably the
gosh,
best.
those tiny little guys are adorable. Those are so cool. I would love to see. I don't know if this is too far off, Hackatao, but I would love to see if you did like sell an NFT with these, and it was imagine you could even do like a 3D Vox model of Podmark in that comes with it that you could put in crypto voxels, so you could get the digital figurine and then the physical figurine. That would be quite
Thank
cool.
you for suggesting this. I've already asked
Yeah.
for digital identity for the pod marks, so it's something that we are working on. They
Good.
really need their digital second life.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I remember a while ago, Hackatao, I think I put you a contributor on my CryptoVoxels parcel, and you were practicing with the uploading the pod mark in there, and it looked awesome. It looked really, really good. Cool. And then
Yeah,
Super Rare
it was
just
for,
linked a.
actually was for the Cryptally, the art show about crypto art in Italy, and there was a huge pod mark in crypto
Mm,
boxes.
yeah. Yeah, no, that's fantastic. These are really, really beautiful, and I just love. Do you know how they are? They like casting these themselves? Do you know what they're made out of?
They are so they have someone casting them for
Mm-hmm.
them, and then they paint them.
Okay. Um, yeah, there's just so many ideas flowing through the chat. I love how everyone is so it's so easy to be inspired by Hackatao's work. And everyone has really awesome ideas coming in. Easy in Crypto said they could even do a little dance or wave hello in AR, which would be quite cute for sure. That's awesome. And if you guys have more questions, definitely ask in the chat. But I'm super excited to hear about all the things they have coming up. It sounds like there's a lot of opportunities to be able to get your hands on a Hackatao, especially today with the addition of 23. That's definitely something that most people can take part in. And also, a Nifty Gateway does allow payments with MetaMask. It's a little hidden, but just so you guys know, if you do prefer ETH, that's super exciting that people can get their hands on a Hackatao. I saw someone in the chat earlier say, maybe I'll get my first Hackatao today, which is really exciting. And I also, before this stream, a lot of people said that the first, I had a couple people tell me the first crypto art that they saw and got inspired by was Hackatao's work, which is really exciting. And just to have Hackatao make a name for themselves in this space and continue to do it for so long and kind of be a part of the, as you were saying, like the pillar of this community is super super special, and having you talk about it as well is really special. I just love this behind the scenes. Do you know if when Sergio is creating these drawings, is he using ink and pencil? What is his process?
Yes, so he's using inks, and they said that like if you go through, it's amazing to go through their pieces in time, and you really see how the style changed, especially when they moved from Milan to the mountains. Like the colors became like brighter because now they are surrounded by nature instead of like a gray city,
Right.
and the black and white, like also the borders became stronger, and so they also changed like all the inks, and they said that it took kind of a while for the chemical, like to study the chemical of inks to go together, like with colors. So there's a lot of experimenting behind this, but I think they got to the right balance now.
Yeah, absolutely. I use those same pens, Hackatao. I love those as well. Um, I just love this behind the scenes tour. There's um, someone said, oh, Easy and Crypto said he's going to Nifty Gateway right now, so he can be ready. Well, it drops in like 6.5 hours.
Yeah.
Um, Frank Conway, I want to know their names and how they talk or communicate. Do you mean the Podmarks or do you mean the Hackatao duo? Hey Dow Records, hey Joy. Um, that's funny. They did their names are Sergio and Nadia. I don't know if you missed that earlier, but yep. Okay, cool. Sorry, just reading the chat. This is super super exciting what they're doing, and I'd love to hear what is coming up. I love the way they're using AR in their work. It just matches perfectly with the items that they're creating, and I also see like the I guess the inception, I wonder about working with someone so closely. For me, I would imagine like, do they talk through the concept of the idea before they get started? Do they like, go off of each other? Oh, we're gonna do a woman in this one, and her eyes are gonna go this way, or do they talk all that through they before they start, or is it really just organic? Like they just put the pen to the paper and decide where to go from there?
I know that it's not very organic at the beginning, meaning that like they fight. I mean, they
Yeah.
so they talk about the concept, obviously, but they need to get to a point where they agree. And it takes so they said that it's the most difficult time in the creation of the art piece is like the starting point because they have to agree on concept, which is fine, but then they have to agree on like where on everything, like on the whole design. Also, I mean, Hackatao, they worked for many years in like graphic design and
Yep.
advertisement. So these people have such an eye for the graphic design that the discussion is very alive.
Yeah.
But then when they start, like once that they agree, then it's when it's very organic because
Yeah.
they really follow like their personalities. Like she knows what he needs and he knows what she needs. So that's very that it's a flow.
Yeah, and their work, as you're saying, like when they're talking, they're so alive about it. Like their work looks very alive, which is exciting. It looks like there's all of these creatures, hidden inside of it. The creature in the main like forefront. There's so many of that sort of thing. And also, for everyone on the chat listening, I just got a notification about my Zoom maybe ending, which I paid for the premium one, so it shouldn't. But in case it does, stay online because we'll just start it right back up again. So in case it drops, that's why. But we'll start it right back up, so stay there. So I love all these sketches that Hackatao is going through. Are these? I saw earlier Hackatao was looking through a book, which I didn't know that they had a book. Is that something that's gonna launch in the future? Something they've had before? And
No,
then
I think that the catalog that we're showing is the catalog of here. The
yeah.
truth is, yeah. So this is a catalog that they did with Zanini Art Gallery, which is a gallery here in Italy. They work together with a great gallery, and they had a show. Yeah, here it is. So the whole catalog is in AR. So you scan
Oh.
the images inside and you have and this digital art pieces pop up and yeah, I have seen there were I didn't see the show, but I have seen the booth in Bologna at the art fair. So Hackatao, Sergio was there with the galleries, and it was an amazing booth, and that's where I got my catalog. Yeah, here
Okay,
it
very good. I love the colors. It's so beautiful. Oh, that's a good one.
is.
That's the most we'll see of Hackatao, that picture.
It was and so this like show was about, let's say that each year they pick a theme they're going to work on, and so last year was truth.
Uh-huh.
This is uh, the name of the show is the truth is, and this year will be renaissance and dream. So the piece that you have seen, the one which is not finished, actually, I think that you got confused because it's the opposite. Usually, it's the color outside and the drawn part inside, but
Got
in
it.
that piece, Dream, it's like they put the detailed part, and so it's going to be colorful inside. And that piece is also a piece that I'm going to present at Kadaf, and it's going to be about Dream. And so this year, for evident reasons, this is what they are going to, uh, like the themes that are going to explore.
Yeah, everyone is loving the catalog. They're wondering where can we order one. So I don't know if that's possible, but
And can maybe Sergio can write it in the chat. I know that the gallery has this, but I don't know if you can order
okay.
anything.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to have one, especially if there you can do the AR in those. That's such a cool, unique piece, and it's just a
Is
nice piece. It's like a
Sergio,
coffee table book. What'd you
yeah.
say?
Is Sergio answering to this question? Otherwise, I cannot.
He is in the chat, so um, I'm sure he'll pop in. Oh yeah, Hackatao also said Nadia's pillow earlier when it was on the ground. It's not for sleeping. She loves to paint on her knees. I paint on the floor, so I totally connect with that as well. It's much better than painting on a easel for me. Um, Everyone's loving the catalog and the easy. Oh, the Podmark hugged by green is cool. Would love to spend some time thumbing through it. Yeah, no, absolutely. I would love to have one of these catalogs. So definitely drop that when you have time. Hackatao, how or if people can get their hands on that. Um, it's super exciting to just see so much work in one space. And you guys are so talented. Do you know how long they've been creating art together and then separately, I guess, as well?
Together from 2007. This is
Seven.
this is yeah, this is when
Okay.
they started Milan.
Wow. They've been creating for a long time, 13
Yeah,
years.
2 years on the digital side and
Right.
blockchain, but otherwise they started in 2007,
Okay.
and in 2012 they moved to the mountains.
Okay. Very cool. All right. So if anyone has more questions in the chat, feel free and ask. Normally I do. I mean, and feel free if you want to talk about anything in particular, or if Hackatao wants to show anything in particular, go for it. Normally at the end of these, I ask some rapid fire questions. I don't know. I don't know if you'll know them all, but maybe you'll know a couple, and it would be fun. And even from your perspective, to
Okay.
answer some of them. They're just kind of fun. So we can do that as well. But before, let's see if there's any questions that come in. And if there's anything that you want to chat about, feel free.
Yeah, if you want to talk about upcoming projects
Yeah,
besides drops today and the super rare
please. Yeah.
pop-up art show, on Saturday there will be an auction on Infi NFT.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So they created this art piece which is called Zeus On-Chained, because so this time the images and the art as well will be on chain. So
Right.
this is quite peculiar, and this is why like they have the Zeus on chain, and and it's going to be on our Wave
Infinity.
blockchain.
Yeah. AR Weave. Yep.
Mhm. And so what they did, they bought an Avastars, one of the Avastars, and so they really fell in love with this idea of like the possibility of buying like an here you see it here,
Yeah.
like of buying one of these characters, and then you have the commercial license, so it's
Yeah.
like it becomes this creative instrument that you can use. And so yeah, they use one of these others to make this piece that will be auctioned on Saturday.
I love that
And
piece. It makes Avastars like seem more alive, which is really cool and it's unique. I've seen a lot of like there's even like fan art popping up with Avastars, but to see something truly that's like so well done and has so many cool things in the back, genetic rarity, Avastars, replicants, like all of that is just so cool to see, and all the little Avastars in the Hackatao style in the back That's a really beautiful piece. Do you know if that is going to be auctioned as a one of one or if it'll be an addition?
Should be 101.
Okay. That's an exciting piece. I love the colors in it too, and the way they animated it. It's very cool. And
Yeah, and also
that will be on
thing,
Infinity, guys.
yeah,
Go ahead.
yeah, and also another thing they said that they are thinking about a project next month on async,
Yeah.
and it's going to be their self project, and they said that we cannot reveal too much, but there will be some random elements, and it will be in perfect Hackatao style. So there will be an upcoming project on async.
That's exciting. There's the first project on Async. They did the Jesus right in the middle of the table, which was such a cool like contrast to the rest of that piece.
As well here, no?
What'd you say?
Your piece as
Oh
well.
yeah. Yep, on that side. Everything it's flipped right now. I'll need to fix that. Um, Easy in crypto said, "Have they ever made a Russian doll?" Podmark.
What is a Russian doll?
The nesting dolls, like where it's small and
Oh
then.
no, matryoshka. No,
Oh, okay. That would be quite cool.
that will be cool. That's a nice suggestion. The Russian
Uh,
doll.
yep. Oh, Jim, thanks for throwing that in. The auction ends on Saturday on OpenSea for the Infinity NFT, that the Avstar one that we just saw. Um, yes, Easy and Crypto said an async Hackatao will be amazing for sure, which I totally agree. I'm really excited to see that one and what they tie in. Just to see that, like, change based on the collector or whatever they hook it up to. That will be quite exciting. It sounds like, I mean, they just have so much going on. Like, obviously, with Super Rare, with Nifty Gateway, with Infinity, like, they just have, with the
Oh
show. What'd you say?
yeah, yeah, and physical. So
Yeah, and physical. And it's quite, I mean, as an artist myself that does physical and, digital works, it's it's such an exciting and special balance between the two, but it's also really difficult to have the two and to have, oftentimes, at least for me, totally different collector bases with the physical and the digital. And then also, obviously, the digital is much easier to get to people, but you still need to market the physical and ship the physical and pack the physical and create. It takes hours and hours and weeks to create pieces like this. So it's super exciting to see what they're doing. That is a
but it's
huge
nice.
pod
I
work.
think to have like feet on both
Yeah,
for many reasons. A
absolutely.
for a creation point of like for a creation point of view, as I was saying, like if you're an artist, it's like they love to create in physical. It's like he loves
Mm-hmm.
drawing. It's something that he cannot um like avoid. And also for because you never know, even in terms of market, it's like it's good to be in both. And if you want to try to breach them, it's more difficult because it's like, are you
Right.
gonna talk to older collectors or newer collectors? But that's what I am trying to do because I really don't see the line anymore. It's
Yeah.
like there's not, you know, right? It's already like a limitation even to call it digital art. It's art. So I
No,
don't see.
absolutely. As I'm looking at this piece right now, it reminds me so much of, like, or not reminds me, but it makes me think, like, how cool would it be to have like a show with Hackatao characters in it, like a cartoon show? It would just be so cool, or like a comic strip with them doing all sorts of things. And everyone, it's so funny in the comments. They're saying like how they would buy anything Hackatao, maybe a pair of glasses, maybe a toothbrush, cutlery. That they've just listed so many things. Pillow. Um, yeah, that's so funny. Hackatao says we can make a pillow so at night if you don't sleep you can get lost in the drawings. Yeah, they can count the Hackatao characters until they fall asleep. I love that. Very cool. This is awesome. Is there any other thing you guys in the chat definitely still ask questions? Um, oh, Skinny had a good question. Hackatao will have to answer this. Question is, when do we do a collab? That would be a pretty epic collab. Hackatao's skulls. Everyone loves the big pod mark as well. That's so awesome. And is there anything else that you want to bring up as well? We just talked about all of their new work, which is super exciting, and I can't wait to see. And I will say they are so ahead of the game and so prepared. Like they have all of their stuff so planned out, and I feel like for me, it's a little bit. My brain is in so many places. Like they are so prepared. I love that. And their
They're
studio is
very-
amazing.
Yeah, I was telling them today. I mean, it's a compliment. This is just my personal comment on them. It's not something coming from them. They're very disciplined. It's a pleasure to work with them. It's like, and it's something that I believe it helps an artist to take that step farther uh, compared to other artists. Like it's talent and discipline. Like Hackatao, they are disciplined.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're serious. They work hard. They are, as you said, they're always ahead. So it takes a lot of hard work, and I believe that they have been repaid of this because of their discipline. Like even they said that even in the blockchain, like this very they're pretty solid in the space, and they said that it's because they believed in blockchain and art from day one and never didn't leave when things weren't going too well, when like some collectors disappeared forever, or even some artists who started and then disappeared.
Right. Absolutely.
They were always there, so they're pretty solid and disciplined, I think.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree with you. Oh, those are really cool. Those are the glasses with Coldy.
Yeah,
I love those. No, I completely agree with you. And to that point, I always tell people, people who are first getting into collecting NFTs, I always stress, and I can't stress enough, to if you're looking to collect NFTs and have a long-term maybe investment or whatever it is, if that's what you're looking for, make sure to do your research on the artist that's creating. Make sure to know why they're in this space and what they're doing, because their longevity in this space will obviously be great for your piece. And sometimes it's unfortunate that people don't do that research and then are surprised to see artists leave. But for someone like Hackatao that's been in this space for so long and has made a name for themselves and is just so passionate about it, like that they will be here, forever, for as long as they can create. This is their passion. This is their heart on paper, which is super, super important. And I think people definitely know that about them for sure. Um, cool. And also, AgroCat said, Eleonora, you have the coolest chair. I love your chair.
that's a IKEA chair. IKEA chair.
IKEA.
Which
All right. We'll drop the link later with her affiliate code so she can do something on there. Awesome. So I'm gonna do some questions, and let's see. Let me look at them quick because some of them you won't be able to answer, but maybe we'll answer them from your
I can
perspective.
translate.
Since
I can translate in Italian to them if you really want to get the answer for them.
oh, that might be kind of fun. Um, so yeah, let's see if that works. I feel like you might know the answer to some of these for them.
Okay.
Bitcoin or Ethereum? And they could also, I guess, Hackatao is in the chat, so Hackatao could also just chat
I
in
don't want.
here.
I don't want to answer to this.
You don't want to answer? Okay.
But like for them,
Yeah. That's
I get. I get, that's I don't put me in this position.
okay. I
Choose
won't.
me.
Okay, because you're right. We shouldn't put you in that position because if you say the wrong thing, they might have your head. No, I'm just kidding. Um, do you? Let's see. How about I have a question for you. Um, Describe the NFT space in 3 words because you've been in the NFT space for a while, and you've been seeing it from this perspective of being a curator. What do you might have a really amazing perspective of this. Like, can you describe what you've experienced so far in 3 words?
Um, fairness, um, new, fresh,
Mm,
fresh, um, opportunity.
I love those words. That's such a good description. And also, before we, some of these questions might be too weird. I'll ask them later, and maybe I'll post them in the Discord so you guys can get the answers to them. But I would love to know, just purely from your perspective, Eleonora, like, have you, working with Hackatao, getting to know this space so much, what have you experienced that you are really excited about and that really wanted you to like dive deep into learning about digital art and what it means for an artist? Like, what really excites you about the space?
The community, I know
Mm-hmm.
that everyone says that, but it's true.
Yeah,
Uh,
absolutely.
the community, I don't know if it's going to get ruined because more actors will come to the space, but it's pretty solid. So I don't know. So the community, the um, I mean, when you are in a new space, you have people with new ideas.
Absolutely.
So although sometimes it's a little bit too new, I'm always like, come back a little bit because you went too far, and it's we they won't catch you. But I rather, oh, there's a dog.
I know, I love their dog.
I'd rather
I'm
take
listening to
people.
you, but I'm paying attention to the dog.
I was saying that I'd rather take people back a little bit instead of, like live in this rusted space.
Yeah.
And it's created, it's new, it's although sometimes it's a little bit extreme, but this kind like this willing of creating new economies, it's just, and I think that this crisis proved everyone right. It's like sustainability that doesn't exist anymore, so these obsolete spaces they're now obsolete.
Right.
um, this COVID just pushed like 10 years ahead what will happen in 10 years. And so, yeah, like the community, the ideas, the discussion, it's a constant discussion on what it could be. So it's nice to be on Earth, but this is very stimulating for your mind and your brain. It's like where else you want to be. It's always picking up, we're always speaking about new things.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's a great answer. And I love that also, just from my perspective and really getting to chat with you on this. I love the connection that you guys have made. And it's so special because you see some of it mimicked within the NFT space, but I would love to see more of it. You're not just a curator for them. Like, that's not at all what you are. Like, you guys have built a relationship, a friendship, like so much more intimate than you just selling their work to someone else or like making connections. Like, I can tell that you guys have something more than that, which is really awesome.
Well, I have a point here.
Uh-huh.
Maybe we should redefine what a curator is.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Because what is a curator? I mean, is it just someone who, like you're an art gallery, so you need a name for your show to happen? You curate a show for an artist and then it's over. You have
Right.
your two, three artists in your whole life and you don't care about the others because you are earning money. So, in fact, I don't think that I am just a curator. I think that's what a relationship between a curator and an artist should be like. We text every day,
That's so
but
cool.
the they like I help them, but you don't know how much they help me because
Right.
it's a constant exchange. Like, can you imagine if you can always? Can you imagine if I can like constantly have a point of view from an artist? For me, that's all. And can you
Yeah.
imagine if you constantly have a point of view from someone like from like a curator or it's a constant discussion, but I really would like for curators to have this kind of relationship with their artists because then opportunities come. Then of course you work together because
Totally. No, I 100% agree with you. And like I said, I can tell just talking with you here that you take the relationship really seriously, and they do with you as well, which is really special. And I would love to see. We already have seen, even just through this show, I've learned so much of artists getting introduced to the space through platforms that have like held their hand and helped them come into the space that they didn't know anything about it before. So I love to see that, and I just really appreciate that from you. So thank you. And we did have some questions come in the comments that I just want to read out, and then we can also wrap up here too. Let's see. Major Tonk, honest question. When they say Hackatao merges the cultured quotations from the past to bold and ultra contemporary forms, what do they mean with ultra contemporary?
What do they mean with what?
Ul- by saying ultra contemporary.
Oh, ultra contemporary. Um, well, I think like when I say, maybe let's see if I understood the question. Like when I say that that Hackatao is doing the most contemporary of the art, this is what they mean, like the ultra contemporary. It's a state of mind. It's like these people are always ready to experiment with anything comes up, which is not and they don't do it because of commercial reasons, like market reasons. I don't believe so. Like, okay, so for instance, 2 months ago they experimented for the first time with VR, but then they know that they're not VR artists, so the way they used it was very ironic. Like they push it to the extremes just to see as it was like a kid creating, but still they experimented with VR, and then a sync is born, and they
Yep.
created a piece in layers, and then they're very like every time you propose them a project, they are very like open to experiment, and also there is talent to do it. It's like so to me it's the most like ultra contemporary because they don't put borders to their art, which for me is fundamental. It's what I'm trying to tell everybody every day. Don't put borders and limits to your art. Do you feel good doing a sculpture today? Sculpture is not evil. It's not evil, although it's not on the blockchain. But then you understand the preciousness of like digital art and the blockchain and NFTs. And so you're very open to do that. So I think that they're like, they live in this continuum, which is very contemporary because
No,
it speaks
absolutely.
the language, like older language. They speak like an older language that older people can understand, but meanwhile, they propose this new aesthetic to them, and the opposite. They speak like a new language that all the millennials, for instance, can understand, but then they propose to them some thought marks. And this is how everyone gets connected.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That was a great explanation. And we have Hackatao jumping in as well. Hackatao's answered some questions already about the kind of paint they use. Someone asked if they sell prints, and they sent a link on where you can find those, I believe. So definitely check that
Yeah,
out
we
in the
did
chat.
limited edition with Magda, the
Yeah.
museum. So the limited edition came with the interview, so you can find it on the museum website.
Okay, very cool. Easy and Crypto, we need to shine a light on curators and collectors more, working on Collectors Hub to address this issue totally. And you had a great response to that. And then Hacktail's popping in. Thanks, Jimmy. Awesome. Cool. Thank you guys so much in the chat for being so active and just following along here. Hackatao, thank you so much for giving us this amazing tour, introducing us to your dog, showing, I think they said the name uh, earlier, Kilaban?
I don't
Um,
remember.
your dog is adorable, and they said that the dog's always in the studio with them, which is super special. Thank you so much for giving us the tour of your studio, your work, where the mountains out of your window, which are just absolutely insane, and I wish I was there with you right now. And I am super excited and happy to have this experience with you guys. And of course, Eleonora, thank you so much for being on here and just
Thanks.
giving us the behind the scenes with Hackatao. Oh, the drinks changed, and one is empty and one is full. They're very thirsty this stream. Um, and no, I just appreciate this so much. It was just a joy to be able to talk with you, and like I said, just you have such that deep connection with them, so you were the perfect person to just talk us through all of this. I hope to brush up on my Italian so I can speak to you guys in Italian. But this was super special. Thank you so much for doing this, and we'll definitely be seeing you around. Don't forget, guys, that there's a Nifty Gateway drop today at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, with additions and then a one-on-one. And then also on Saturday on OpenSea, the Infinity Avastars drop. And then just stay tuned for all of the async one and everything else coming up. And thank you so much, Eleonora, for just
Thanks for
organizing all
having
this.
us. Really, this was very nice.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we're gonna sign off. Bye, dog. And bye, Hackatao. Bye, Eleonora. Thank you so much.
Bye. Bye. Thanks to you. Bye.